Hello, I'm Deborah Sweet, and welcome to Trailblazing TV. My friend, it has been a while since I have done a video quite like this, but I felt really compelled to share something that I'm going to add into my arsenal of sweet successories. What the heck are sweet successories? Okay, that's my punny word for things that I have been using, products and tools that I've been using over the years that make life easier, add value, make you feel good, look great. And so today I'm actually going to share with you something that I really never thought I would ever be doing a video about. And so let me kind of set up the story here of what we're going to talk about. About a year ago, I went through a pretty involved training program to help me refine and level up my skills for doing effective events in a virtual space. So you may have seen on my Facebook or on my social media here on YouTube that I am a performer. I'm a public speaker. I've been a musician since I was a kid. So I perform as myself, I perform as Cher. And through that, what is important to me to be able to perform at a high level is I need good brain function. I need to be physically fit because there are times when I am doing a speaking training or a presentation where sometimes it's 3 days in a row. If I'm doing a show, I'm doing a high performance show. Sometimes that is very cardiovascular. It takes a lot of energy to do the kind of shows that we do. So backtracking, last year I went through a program and I met some amazing people and learned some newer techniques to really put on amazing, effective events virtually. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. If you're interested in learning about some of my virtual training events, drop me a comment below. I'm happy to tell you. The space that I do my daytime business in is all about helping businesses get business and make money, helping you really understand first how to own your brand position. If you don't know what your brand position is, leave me a comment. We should jump on a call and talk. That's an anchor that you should master. But on top of that, we get into sales, marketing, leadership, things along that line. So I have utilized events for a long time to help connect up with people and serve on a more grand scale. So why am I talking about this? Well, about a year ago, when I was going through this training, I had another colleague who was also going through the training, and we were supporting each other. She did some tech support for me, and then she turned around and asked if I could do tech support for her. Absolutely. So we did hers. She had a 3-day event, and I was her tech support. And as a thank you, she sent me a gift that was unexpected. And in this gift, I got it. It was a real cool looking box, and I had a beautiful pen and a notebook, and there was a coffee cup. And then there was this little packet of cocoa. And I'm like, oh, okay, I don't do cocoa as much as I used to because my food intake is a little different. And then I read the ingredients and I'm like, cocoa? It has mushrooms in it. So, friend, I'm going to talk to you about that. When I first got the gift, I was like, oh, I like mushrooms, but I was reading what to do with this cocoa that had mushrooms in it, and it said put it in your coffee. Now, I'm not going to call myself a coffee snob by any means because I'm not, but I do like coffee. My coffee is usually pretty simple. I like good quality food no matter what I'm eating. And so I like a good flavored coffee, and then I want a little bit of a flavored coffee creamer. That's about it. It doesn't get much fancier than that. Um, so when my friend Heather sent me this box and it had this cocoa with mushrooms, I honestly didn't know how's this gonna go. Will I like it or will I not? But I was bold. I will try most things once. And so I took a packet of the cocoa with a little mushroom powder in it, put it in my coffee, and I drank it. And, it was interesting. And the little gift she gave me had a little mini box where there was 7 of these cocoa mushroom packets. So I drank one a day for about 7 days. Now I do a lot. If you've looked into my bigger story, you'll know that I've had quite a few health issues over the years. I've gone through struggles with my weight. I've had just a lot of struggles with different things in the area of health. So my nutrition and my fueling and my food intake is really important to me. making sure that I stay healthy as cleanly, as naturally as I can. So I have a pretty good nutritional regimen that I've been doing for years. I'm actually a certified health coach. I'm also a certified herb specialist. So this thing about mushrooms was as a healing property is not new to me. I just had never put it in my coffee before. Now, I like to eat mushrooms, and there are herbal formulas that are healing mushrooms that I've taken before. But when Heather sent me that box, it truly was a first. And what was interesting is that um, the first day I was like, okay, well, that's kind of interesting. The second day I drank it, I'm like, well, that's okay. I'm getting used to it, getting used to the flavor. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh day, I went through the box. And when I was out of what Heather had gifted me, about a week, within a week or two later, I noticed, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I want mushrooms in my coffee. Like I was craving it. I can't say that I was craving the flavor per se, but there was something that I was feeling that was making me feel better. And so I set you up with that story to show you and do a little product review because I had no idea where Heather got that box from. And I didn't need to buy the box. All I wanted to find out is how do I repeat the experience? And so I did some researching because that's part of who I am and what I do. I do research and reconnaissance before I do planning for things. And landed on Amazon, like my string of research took me into Amazon, and I landed on this little packet called Real Mushrooms, 5 Defenders. And I cannot do an unboxing because I bought this one about a year ago, and if I were to open it up, it's empty. So what's really interesting, this was what I read a lot of reviews online, and I bought this with my own money. And so this particular product has 5 mushrooms in it. Now, what's really important, the reviews, that this was 100% pure and organic, and it is designed, one of the benefits of mushrooms is that they do support immune health. This one had a lot of very positive reviews, so I felt confident in purchasing it and trying it. So these are vegan, non-GMO, they're kosher, they're gluten-free. I have to make sure that what I eat is gluten-free. There's no grains, starches, or fillers. And so this little bag, I will tell you, here's the seal is like right here. So you've got about that much room. I think this is like $35. That seemed like a lot of money for a little itty bitty bag, but you don't use a lot of it. It's just like a dash. You just do these small little measurements. So the mushrooms in this particular brand, which you can find at realmushrooms.com, has reishi, I think that's how you say it, reishi, uh, Miyataki, shiitake, chaga, and turkey tail. So it was really interesting when I opened it up because I can tell you this. Mushrooms, like most food components, herbs and spices and certain healing components, do have an aromatic quality. Like our food, part of why we like to smell our food is that there's the aromatics. And when you're talking about natural healing in the body, the aromatherapy, the aromatic, is part of how certain compounds and nutrients, okay, I can say that, compounds and nutrients actually start to get into the body for healing. So this particular one, I will tell you, has a very dark, earthy smell and flavor. Yeah, it's strong, it's robust. So if you like dark coffee, a robust flavor coffee, you want to do mushrooms, this would be a good blend. I will tell you, it took me a little while to get through this bag because the flavor spectrum of this one was, I don't want to say heavy, but that is a good description. It's heavy and it's very earthy. So I remember this has 45 servings in it, and when I first took it and started using it, it wasn't the same flavor as what Heather sent me. So I think that's part of what I was mentally struggling with. Like, dang, I want it to be like what she got me. I want the benefits of it, but this is a different flavor profile. That being said, I used it for a while, and then honestly, I set it aside. And I don't remember what inspired me to go back, but not, I'd say a few months ago, I think when all the new rounds of all the sick germs are coming out, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to use this up. Just put it in your coffee. And I read somewhere about making sure that mushrooms, like if you put mushrooms with a chocolate flavor, it blends really well. And that's what Heather sent me. So I should have thought about it, but I didn't. It took a little while. So what I did is I finished off this one, and for my coffee flavors, I was just putting a chocolate creamer in, like just a little amount of a chocolate creamer, and that was the magic ticket. So I'm just sharing with you that this is a good product. I did start feeling better. I did start noticing the benefits that I was receiving after I was using the product that Heather sent me. So I finished this one off. So in my journey to rinse and repeat, because I like things, hence sweet accessories. If it worked once, go do it again. Don't have to change the process, right? So in the process of going to order this one, I went back into Amazon, and you know how Amazon will recommend a few other things? I took a look around, and what was really interesting is that I stumbled upon this one. It's a different manufacturer. I think it's called Om or Ohm. I don't know, probably Ohm, right? Like Ohm. And so what was really, I was intrigued because I like this one, the Real Mushrooms by the Five Defenders by realmushrooms.com, because I was ready to buy it again. But then I started reading this one. This is a master blend, and the difference between the two, this one has 5 mushrooms, this one has 10. And I read more about this. Now, this one has adaptogenics. Now, let me talk to you about adaptogens, adaptogenic herbs. That's a property that herbs have. They adapt to what your body needs. So, from a holistic healing thought process, what that means is if the body, when it comes into being in a state of vitality, having vitality, being in a state of health, everything needs to be in balance, right? You have enough water, you have enough proteins, enough carbohydrates, you've got your enough fruits, enough vegetables, you've got your amino acids, you've got all the little parts and pieces that build and feed our body. And at times, what can happen is that some of our body functions can go into overdrive. Like if you've ever been startled, like you get a surprise, you're in the movie theater, or you hear a loud noise and you get that startle. Well, that triggers your adrenal glands. The adrenal glands release a hormone that is called adrenaline that actually protects us. It can give us the energy to fight or flee, right? Fight or flight. And that's a good thing when it's done in balance. But there are times when the body is overworking. If you're always in a state of fight or flight, you will deplete your adrenal glands. So an adaptogenic herb will come in if your body's running too hot. That's the technical healing term in the holistic world. Your body's running too hot. It's running too often. The adrenal glands are always on. You don't want to give them a nutritional component that stimulates them to do more. You actually want to balance them and feed them so that they go back into not necessarily being slow, but you need to turn the volume down of the adrenaline and get it back into balance. And so the contrary, the opposite of that is if you have a body part that's under functioning, right? Under functioning, where let's say that surprise and nothing happens, you're just in a real danger situation when you want adrenaline should kick in to protect you. Like maybe you have to flee, but you don't. You're kind of lethargic and numb to the moment. That could be because adrenals are underperforming. So you don't want to calm them down. You actually need to turn them on. You want to build them and turn them on so that the adaptogenic herbs, they function that way. They have chemical properties in them that they're intuitive and they understand what your body needs. So if something needs to be the volume turned up a little bit or needs to be turned down, that's what the adaptogens do. So I was really excited when I saw that this actually has adaptogens in it. as a benefit on top of everything else. So this blend right here, this particular packet has 34 servings, and what it has in it, the mushrooms in it, there's lion's mane, which actually supports memory, focus, clarity, and nerve health. That's a powerhouse of a mushroom, by the way. You have the reishi mushroom that helps manage some occasional physical and mental stress. Cordyceps is a really big deal for your immune system overall. Helps with energy, vitality, endurance. You can find that in different components. Some companies, one of the companies I work with for nutritionals, I know that they have an individual blend. I was thrilled to be able to get it right here in this mushroom. There is turkey tail. That's another powerhouse. It is one of the most researched and functional mushrooms for immune health. Turkey tail is another powerhouse mushroom. This other one has a mushroom called chaga, which helps with free radicals and helps prevent anti-aging. It does a lot of things. There's something called the king trumpet, which contains a master antioxidant. I'm not even going to begin to say the word. It's an antioxidant that naturally occurs. It's an amino acid. It's just not one that I'm familiar with. It's only found this amino acid. It's L-ergothioneine, I think is how it's pronounced. There's only a few sources. It's not a typical amino acid. So even in my schooling, I've never seen that one before until I bought this product. This one also has maitake, which helps support gut health and healthy blood sugar. Keeping your blood sugar in balance is part of what helps keep your energy and immune system running strong. There is another mushroom called Antrodia camphorata. I think that's how it's going to be pronounced. Basically, this is for immune and liver health. You have shiitake, great, yummy on the table, on the plate, plate it, but it's also really good for helping detox the body, immune support. There is two more. There's a couple more things in here. This one has Agaricus blazei. Now, if y'all know how to pronounce these unusual mushrooms better than I do, drop me a phonetic enunciation down below. I will say thank you. But this mushroom, basically, they call it the mushroom of life. It's known for beneficial polysaccharide compounds. It helps add vitality to life. And it's all about immune system, folks. That's what I'm getting at here. And then there's a couple of other things in here. Astragalus. So these are other herbs you may be familiar with. In my back schooling, these are herbs I am familiar with. You've got astragalus, ginkgo. There is also biloba, holy basil. These are used in traditional Chinese medicines. They help with stress, inflammation. They support immune system, as well as our energy levels and cognition. So that's a whole lot to tell you what's in this little powerhouse. And as you can see, I've opened this one. I can't unbox it because it too is empty. I actually ordered this one, I think, back in December. So in December, we had some funky weather out here, and I had a lot more friends around me that were getting sick with all the stuff going around. And I have to tell you, this has become my go-to favorite. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to wrap up my testimonial, my video review today with a story that I just lived through the last 2 days. So when I got this one in December, I took it every day. And what I like about this particular company, inside the bag, they actually give you a little measuring scoop. So it's easy. You just scoop it. I put it right in the coffee. Now, this particular blend, this tastes like what was in the blend that my friend Heather sent me. This has a lighter flavor. Even the color is lighter. The olfactory sensory is lighter. It's a lighter flavor. And so where I talk about this one being a little heavier and a little earthier, this one's got a lighter flavor palette. So for me, I'm preferring this one first, so much so that I had to order it again. So yeah, this just came in. So I've got all three of them right here. Again, I bought these all on my own. So this puppy just came in yesterday. So here's my real-time story that really motivated me to want to do this video with you. I've already opened it. I don't want to open it because it could poof open. It's quite full. They do a good job of filling this up. I can feel it right here is my little scooper. But uh, last week was the first time in a very, very, very long time that I actually caught some sick germs. I got a little head cold. I still have just a small residual of some stuff still in my sinuses. And I will tell you, I could tell it was a little bit more than a head cold, but I had run out of this packet. And all during December, all during January, um, I actually do 2 servings of this a day. Because of some of my health issues, there are certain nutritionals that I actually do a little bit more of seasonally, not all the time, but because there were so many people around me exposed to other sick things, I just was being very, very, very diligent to keep my immune system strong. But I ran out of this about 2 weeks ago and I didn't order it right away. I should have, because like I said, about a week ago, I woke up and I'm like, oh man, I have a head cold. And I knew that that's all it was. It was just up in there. It was a little bit more, not sinuses. It wasn't the flu. It's not anything else going around. But why am I telling you this? Because when I woke up yesterday, I was still having a lot of congestion. And as you've seen on my YouTube here, I sing, I perform. I've got shows coming up. I have a huge show coming up for Share. And I had band practice last night. So I needed to sing. I didn't know if I was going to be able to sing because I tried in the morning and I sounded hoarse and my throat definitely was coated. I couldn't grab a note. If I did get a note, I sounded like a frog going off of the deep end. It wasn't a good thing. But then I went out and I saw that my box came in. So I grabbed this. I put a scoop in my coffee, drank it all up, and then I had my second serving in that morning. And friend, I'm telling you, by noontime, I was able to sing. My energy was back. My mental clarity was great. I had a great band practice last night. So the only thing that I did that got me back up and having my immune system feeling stronger, and even today my energy is great, is that I made sure that I added this into my daily nutritionals. So I just wanted to share that with you. I never thought I would do a video on mushrooms, but here you go. My friends have asked me the punny, like, oh my gosh, are you seeing pink elephants? No, these are not hallucinogenic mushrooms. I don't do those. I've never done those. Never will. Nope. I'm just going to tell you that's not my thing. But if you're looking for a good way to boost up your energy, your vitality, your mental clarity, this is a great little thing to try. I will drop, I am not an affiliate, so I will share a link, but just go to Amazon. I'll put the name of it right down below and you can order it. And I'd love to hear, leave me a comment. I'd like to hear from you. How did it work? I'm not dishing out any actual medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not doing any prescriptions. I'm just simply sharing my experience and sharing that this is something that's going to stay part of my well care routine just because, one, I love the flavor, and two, I've definitely seen the energy and the vitality. So as always, thanks so much for being here with me. I really appreciate you. I value you, and rock on.